What's up, everyone? Ginjury Baratheon is the bastard son of King Robert Baratheon. King Robert never officially recognized Ginjury as one of his bastards, so Ginjury was never actually given the surname of Waters, which is normal, and it's the bastard surname for anyone who's born in the Crown Lands. Ginjury's mother died when he was very young, and she worked in a tavern. When Ginjury was old enough, it is speculated that Lord Varys actually paid the apprentice fee in order for Ginjury to become a blacksmith and forge armor and weapons for the High Lords of King's Landing. Before we get started, real quick, I would like to announce my 10,000 subscriber giveaway for once I hit 10k subs here on YouTube. All you have to do to enter that contest is like this video, comment down below, and follow me over on Twitter. If you win the contest, you will be given this lovely Daenerys Dark Horse figurine. Also, if you could please slap a like on this video, as it really helps my channel out in promoting this. While investigating the death of Jon Arryn, Lord Eddard Stark learns that Jon Arryn was seen visiting Tobo Mott's smithy in the city shortly before he died. Lord Eddard also inspects the blacksmith shop. Mott, who is the owner of the blacksmith shop, tells him that Jon Arryn came to ask about some new armor that he had requested to be made, but that he also wanted to talk to Ginjury Baratheon. Eddard admires a helmet that Ginjury has made, and Mott, the owner of the shop, offers to sell it to Lord Eddard, but Ginjury insists that the helmet is not for sale, as he made it for himself. That's this helmet right up here. Eddard learns that Jon wanted to know about Ginjury's mother, and realizes that Ginjury is in fact the bastard son of King Robert Baratheon. Eddard is at a loss for words, and is not quite sure why Jon Arryn was trying to track down Robert's bastards. After King Robert dies, Mott, the owner of the blacksmith, has Ginjury leave his blacksmith shop and quit his apprenticeship, presumably to escape the purge that Cersei sends out on all of Robert's bastard children. Ginjury decides to join the Night's Watch and is one of the latest batch of Euron's recruit at the Wall, along with your girl Arya Stark, who at that time has actually disguised herself as a boy, and she's going by Ari. When Hot Pie bumps into Ari, Ginjury scares off the boys by saying, "When I hit that steel, it sings. Are you gonna sing when I hit you, fatty?" Alright, I might have ad-libbed a little bit right there. Continuing on, in Season 2, Ginjury travels north of the King's Road with Euron and Arya and all the other recruits. He actually befriends Arya on their journey. He is later on targeted by the City Watch of King's Landing on Cersei's order to purge all of Robert's bastards, and Euron intimidates a pair of gold cloaks and basically has them back off, and they go and get reinforcement. Arya actually does end up telling her true identity to Ginjury, and Ginjury kind of knew something was up. The Gold Cloaks then later on return with Sir Amory Lorch and a force of Lannister soldiers. They kill Euron, pretty vicious as you can see, and they capture Arya and Ginjury. Arya manages to convince them that Lamy Greenhands was Ginjury, and Lamy was actually just killed by this douchebag right here by having needle pushed through his throat. The prisoners are then taken to Harrenhal, and they are brutally tortured by Sir Gregor Clegane and his men. They also are almost have to endure this torture themselves, but they're forced to watch some of their close people that have been staying in their cell with them be tortured by someone known as the Tickler, who actually puts rats in a bucket, heats up the end of the bucket, and puts the bucket on their chest, so that the only way that the rat can get out, escaping the flames, is by tunneling through one's chest. Insane. This was like one of the first clips of Game of Thrones I seen myself, and this kind of turned me on for the show. I might be a sick individual. When it's Ginjury's turn to actually pay his debt to the Tickler and leak any sort of information that he might know, guess who he's saved by? Your boy Tywin Lannister. Tywin actually promotes Ginjury to be their blacksmith because of his previous blacksmithing skills. Arya ends up convincing Jack and Hagar to help them escape from Castle Harrenhal. After escaping, Arya, Hot Pie, and Ginjury are captured by the Brotherhood without banners. While they are with the Brotherhood, Ginjury helps them out by fixing some of the Brotherhood's broken armor. Upon learning of Ginjury's desire to remain with the Brotherhood, Arya is pretty pissed off, confronts him about it, and she intends to bring him back with the Starks. Gendry explains that the Brotherhood is the closest thing he's ever had to a family, which is insane because he's literally known them for like a day at this time, and anyone else who says that, you might question their sanity about thinking, I guess he was desperate. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Arya, we know that Gendry hasn't had the most, best life, if you will, growing up in the slums of Flea Bottom, so I can honestly relate to him in the sense that when he joins something like the Brotherhood, they kind of, at that time at least, don't really want anything from him, and they kind of just, like him for him, so he looks at that as sort of like a family. He reminds Arya that she is still the daughter of a great house, and he's part of the small folk. He basically couldn't fit in with her family, and honestly, if he went back, she'd be his lady, which I'll bring up later on in this video. Marriage bells are ringing. Gendry is out and about with Arya and the Brotherhood. Arya's actually getting ready to leave, and then Melisandre arrives. Arya is pissed off about the presence of the Red Priest, and in my opinion, her woman intuition, it's a little bit of, maybe a little bit of jealousy, but she knows something is up. Gendry quips that Arya doesn't see this because she's a girl, so that's kind of what, led me to believe this. Gendry is actually shocked that the Brotherhood turned him over to Melisandre for a bag of gold dragons because he considered the Brotherhood family, and he's not quite sure why they would betray him so easily. While he's traveling Blackwater Bay with Melisandre, she finally reveals the truth of his heritage by pointing out the Red Keep and saying, hey, look, dude, that's your daddy's house. Once they get the Dragonstone, Melisandre puts Gendry up in a crazy, awesome-looking chamber, and she does her Melisandre-ing, if you will, something that she's quite known for, and she seduces him. She quickly flips the tables a little bit. She gets a little bit rough. She starts tying him up to the bed, which I'd totally be cool with because Carice Van Houten is, she actually starts to put leeches on him, and the leeches start sucking his blood, and it's all part of a ritual. Following that incident, Gendry is sent to a cell beneath the castle, and guess who shows up? The Onion Knights, Davos Seaworth, and they discuss the hardships of growing up in Flea Bottom and kind of connect a little bit. Davos asks why Gendry trusted Melisandre, and the blacksmith admits that he's never seen a woman, or he's never been with a woman, rather. The trap was a little bit obvious, but he took a chance anyway because he wanted that, you know what I'm saying? He wanted some of that Melisandre. Later on, Davos frees Gendry and sends him back to King's Landing in a rowboat. That's the only way to leave Dragonstone, and Gendry admits he doesn't know how to swim, and he's actually never been in a rowboat before. So you could almost say that Davos sent your boy Gendry to his death. That's pretty much the last time we see Gendry. We all assumed he was still rolling in a boat until, well, this next part contains spoilers, so proceed with your own caution. It's just filming spoilers, not so much plot leak stuff. But anyway, Joe Dempsey was actually spotted at an airport in Belfast, which is crazy because we all know that Belfast, Northern Ireland, is where the majority of the indoor scenes get filmed for Game of Thrones. They have a permanent studio there, so that was a little bit alarming. And then this clip leaked right here. This appears to be Gendry with none other than Davos, which is nuts because Davos is the one who actually sent him to his watery grave, if you will. So it's crazy that Davos is actually one to come and get him. Now, back in Season 6, Stannis and Shireen actually die. Those were, the last two official Baratheons, and that means that Gendry is the last person, or one of the last people in Westeros that has Baratheon blood flowing throughout him. So it's going to be crazy to see where he takes House Baratheon going into Season 7. Now, we know that since he gets picked up by Davos, and Davos is sort of the acting hand of the King of the North, which is Jon Snow right now, he's going to be brought back up north with Jon Snow and his party. Jon Snow is not the one to do freaky kind of leech shit and any kind of blood rituals, so I think the fact that Gendry was able to adapt to the Brotherhood so quickly as a family, I think Jon is going to take Gendry and basically make him weaponsmith / armor forger for Winterfell, which is going to be insane because guess who else is headed home this season? Your girl, Arya Stark. She has just killed a lot of people. So that should be interesting. I want you guys to write down in the comment section right now if you think that Arya will pursue a relationship with Gendry. So I don't really want to focus on that too much, but let me know if you guys think Gendry and Arya will end up getting together and perhaps carrying out a major allegiance between House Stark and what remains of House Baratheon. Now, I think that we know that Valyrian steel is going to be needed in Season 7 and Season 8. It's pretty much the only thing that will guarantee a kill of White and White Walkers, so we need those weapons. Now, what if Sam, while he's at the Citadel, Samwell Tarly actually learns the recipe for Valyrian steel by kind of hearing from the other maesters how they forge their own Valyrian steel links? One of those maesters might actually be Archmaester Marwyn, which is crazy because in the books, Archmaester Marwyn thinks that the other maesters might have actually had a hand in bringing down the downfall of the Targaryens, which is nuts because Sam is actually working for a Targaryen. Now, if he discovers Jon Snow's lineage at the Citadel, then it will be interesting to see if the other maesters actually try to prevent Sam from learning anything else. And Archmaester Marwyn might come in and be like, look, man, this is how I made my Valyrian steel chain. You need to take this recipe and rush back to Castle Black and go help your boy Jon Snow. Guess who's there? Gendry. Gendry learns the recipe. Gendry's been a blacksmith his whole life. I tend to think that Gendry was actually blacksmithing on the boat back to King's Landing because, well, he's been gone this long. Hopefully they show him like super ripped, which is insane, which would make sense because when we saw Valyrian steel being formed in the past on the show, it was done by someone who was pretty big, but that doesn't relate to it. Anyway, it'd be nuts if Gendry gets that recipe from Sam, who was handed down to him from Maester Marwyn, and then Gendry begins forging a shit ton of Valyrian steel tipped arrows or Valyrian steel swords, short swords, maybe even a Valyrian steel armor set. I want to thank you all so much for watching. The like goal for this video will be 175. If you would like to enter my contest for the Daenerys Dark Horse figurine giveaway for once I hit 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube, all you have to do to enter that contest is 1, like this video, 2, comment down below, and 3, hop on Twitter and follow me. I want to give a super special thanks to Lynn Shaw, Joe Swag, Carrie McDonald, Enid Aaron, and Natasha Major for being my first contributors to my Con of Thrones GoFundMe. If you would like to donate to that, all you have to do is click the link up here. I want to thank you all so much again for watching this video. My name's Mark, and this has been Sir Hunt's Reviews.